Hey everybody, welcome back into K17 Reactions. I'm your host Jimmy, and today I'm going to venture back over into Northern Europe, and I am going to react to a group that I have reacted to a few times before. I think it's been at least a few months, if not longer, since I reacted to them last though, and that is the group Nightwish, and the song is Perfume of the Timeless. I had to write it down so I made sure I wouldn't forget it. I've done a few of their songs, like I said, and they are my introduction, or were my introduction to symphonic metal. Never had heard of it before this, and it's a very different sound than, obviously, than anything that I had listened to prior. And it's not typically a style that I would have reached out and found on my own, but I am thankful that I have viewers out there who recommended this and started me on this journey. From what little I know about Perfume of the Timeless is, I believe it came out less than 2 years ago, maybe in 2024, somewhere right around there. And other than that, don't really know anything. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to react to the official music video. I have noticed with previous Nightwish reactions that I've done that those of you who requested and who commented prefer that I do a live version. But on this one, I only saw two versions. I saw the official music video, and then I saw a second one that was live. But as I was reading the description, it seemed like it was like a third party who took a bunch of clips and put them together. It was not on Nightwish's official YouTube channel, so I chose to go with what was on their official channel and go with the official music video. But regardless, I know I'm going to enjoy it, because I've enjoyed the others. Also, one other thing that I made sure, again, with this group is, I can't remember if it was the last song I reacted to or the song just previous to that one, but I reacted to a song that had one lead singer, and I can't remember which way I messed this up, but the thumbnail I used for that particular reaction, I had the other lead singer in the thumbnail. So I promised I wouldn't do that again. This time, if you look at my thumbnail, it will have the picture of the correct members of the group that are performing. So before I get into that, if you like my videos, please hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Link to Patreon will be in the description. And yeah, let's get into it. Nightwish, Perfume of the Timeless. What am I doing here? Sorry to pause it so early, but just reading that stuff like that and facts like that absolutely fascinate me. I drive some people crazy. Like my ex-wife, I drove crazy because I really like details. I like to know how things work or how something happened or whatever. So all that is really interesting to me. And since here over the last about 18 months or so, I delved into trying to find out who my biological father was. And as most of you, if you've seen my reactions before, you know that on October 3rd of last year, I met my biological father for the first time. I'm 56, he was 75 at the time, but we bonded really fast. I gained a stepmom and two little sisters out of finding out. Unfortunately, he died last month after knowing him for 4 months, but I'm thankful. But anyway, saying all that, I just found that opening to this music video very, very interesting. I like stuff like that. Let's go.
We're the perfume of the timeless, last sighs on a deathbed. We are their air dust on their palm. We are because of a million loves. We're the perfume of the timeless, last sighs of a million loves.
Well, I well, sorry here, I'm not doing good with my mouse there. Now, I really like the concept of that video. That was absolutely a fascinating depiction of things. Now, you know, I won't get into the fact that that was, you know, heavily Darwinian, it appeared to be, the way it was filmed and so forth. But I'm not here to argue that point or anything. I happen to have somewhat different beliefs on how a lot of things happened, but that does not change my opinion as far as the concept behind this video, and how so many millions, and probably far more than millions, billions, trillions, who knows, how many individual little things, little interactions had to happen for everything to be how it is at this moment, and every moment that has came before. And something like that, again, is very fascinating to me. You know, when the only thing that I knew about Perfume of the Timeless, and I glanced at the lyrics, even though I didn't read them word for word, but I have problems sometimes picking up on all the lyrics, and I really don't like having captions on. But I glanced at the lyrics, and I just glanced at something that said overall what the song was representing, what it was about. So that was the only thing that I knew going into it. But I think that the way that they, shot that and their concept behind that video was just fascinating. It made me think, when I was looking at it, it made me think of the whole butterfly effect. You know, how if a butterfly in Africa flaps its wings, the result of that wing flap could wind up being a hurricane in the middle of the Atlantic, or a tornado in the central United States, or whatever. And I've always thought that concept was a very fascinating concept. When you start getting into the science, that's where you've got me. That's my background. And even though I'm kind of more towards the anatomy, physiology, medical side, I still like most everything science. And this right here just took so many laws and theories that have been produced in, you know, since science was a thing. I think he did a very fine job, and just the videography and all the behind the scenes, and forgive me for not knowing a lot of the specifics for what goes into this, but those specifics that were put into this just made fantastic, fascinating, very enjoyable video to watch. It was very pleasing to the eye. And you know, there's a couple movies that even kind of reminded me of. Well, I'll just say the movie Inception, if you haven't seen it, or Doctor Strange, which I'm not a big superhero movie person, but I really did like that. But if you look at one of those two movies, maybe you can kind of get the idea of the concept that I'm talking about. But anyway, I really like this one. I don't know how to say this. It still had that symphonic metal sound to it, but it didn't seem as intense. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or whatever. I'm just saying that overall, in listening to it, it didn't sound quite as intensely operatic as some of the other songs that I've listened to have. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's just kind of the sense I got from listening. So anyway, I enjoyed it. That was not actually recommended to me by anybody, but I was sitting here thinking about reactions to do, and Nightwish popped in my head that I haven't done one of theirs in a while, so decided to go ahead and do this one. I looked it up. I looked up to find out what their latest single is, and this is what came up for me, along with a few others, but the title is what grabbed me at first and helped me decide to do this one. So if you like this reaction, please hit that like button. Also share, comment, subscribe. I'll leave my Patreon link in the description with my PayPal and Venmo. I thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for watching with me. And let me just encourage you, if you're dealing with any mental health issues, like myself, I've mentioned many times before, with depression, PTSD, among other things, just know that you are not alone out there. No matter how alone you may feel, you know, don't believe the fact that nobody cares, nobody will help you, nobody loves you, there's no way out. Don't believe any of those lies, because there are people out there, and let me just encourage you to look to find those people, because they do exist. Until next time.